Hello everybody, I am the Linkzilla, and welcome back to God of War 2. Now, when we last left off, we had just gotten Titan's Bane from Titan, and we finally landed on the Island of Creation. Here we are at the Temple of Lachesis. So, basically the goal, let's see if I can actually make it through the entire portion of the Steeds of Time, which will include a boss fight, so I'm probably not going to make it. Bit of an update. Basically wanted to just say that maybe I got some things wrong on that last video, especially regarding Prometheus. As it turns out, the story in the original Greek legend is a bit more complicated than that. But like I said, there's no real telling like what the God of War franchise considers because I've heard it said time and time again that basically somehow existed before the gods took over. Hell, there's actually a good chance that like, a lot of myths are made up by the gods and they give themselves anyways, the thing about Prometheus is that the story of Prometheus and his brother Epimetheus, I think that's right, they were Titans who didn't fight Titans. I don't know if they like gods or they abstained from fighting, but I haven't been used to that. Anyway, basically speaking...
Let the rage of the Titans fuel your blades, Kratos.
Thanks, Gaia. The thing about Prometheus is that he was actually the one who created mankind. He shaped mankind out of clay, and then Athena was the one who breathed the breath of life into them. Now, the thing about it is, I think that Prometheus, they basically say that Prometheus really loved mankind more than the other Olympians did, because I think the reason why is because most of Prometheus' family was locked up in Tartarus after the Great War, so ultimately he sort of saw mankind as kind of like children that he could look after, so... Now, according to the story, mankind ultimately did have fire before this, but Zeus wanted them to more or less act bestial. He wanted them to be considered lesser than the gods. He didn't want them to be on the same level as gods. He didn't want them to be as intelligent. He wanted them to basically walk bent over like animals, but Prometheus basically wanted to give mankind gifts and whatnot, so he designed mankind to walk upright like the gods did, so... That was ultimately nice of him, I suppose. But basically speaking, what happened was Zeus kind of got pissed off at this and ultimately decided, okay, if these people aren't going to be animals, then they're going to sacrifice animals to me. So basically he demanded that for every single time the humans go out hunting, they have to sacrifice a portion of their killed animals to the gods. And Prometheus, basically knowing that this is Zeus being a dick, and isn't there supposed to be a centaur here? I don't know. No, not a centaur, a Cerberus. Maybe it's on the other side. Up there are the Steeds of Time, but anyway. Prometheus basically knew that this was Zeus being a dick, because it basically means, like, catching food in the wild is hard work, so the gods basically expecting mankind to just give up the lion's share portion to people who didn't do a goddamn thing and don't give a damn about them. Prometheus decided that he was going to get back at Zeus for this, ultimately played a major league trick on him. What he ended up doing was... he made two piles. One was made out of freshly killed animal meat, but the other pile was made out of just bones that were wrapped in basically juicy fat, kind of like the portions of the meat that you're not supposed to eat, but who knows, like if it's gristle and everything, if it's cooked just right, you might just like it, but anyway. That was basically, he set them up in two piles, basically one of meat, one of fat-wrapped bones, and he basically asked Zeus, okay Zeus, these are the sacrifices that are basically, this is how mankind's going to do it from here on. Which one are you going to choose? And Zeus was tricked into picking the meat portion because it looked like the biggest and most, it looked like the lion's share of the kill. So Zeus was tricked into picking the bones, but when he found out about the bones, he was so pissed off that he's like, oh, so that's how you want to play it, huh? Alright. Mankind doesn't get fire. He takes the fire away from mankind. And it's basically like, yeah, you can't use this to sacrifice anything, but you also can't use it for light, you can't use it to cook with either. So, mankind began to freeze to death. And this is a cutscene afterwards, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. Prometheus took pity on mankind and wanted to basically, pretty much just circumvent what Zeus did. So he takes a torch, he lights the torch on the sun, which is basically the fires of Olympus, and he brings it back down to Earth, and he teaches mankind how to make it. So he gives fire back to the mortals. Zeus gets royally pissed off at this, so this is ultimately why he ends up punishing mankind with a whole lot of stuff, but let's watch this cutscene first.
You must find a way across to the island, Kratos, for there lies your path to the Sisters of Fate.
Why do you aid me, Gaia?
Zeus must be stopped, Kratos. The story of revenge has been told before. You know of the mighty Titan Kronos. So fearful was Kronos of the Oracle's prediction that his own children would rise against him, that he decided to imprison them all in his belly. Rhea stood by and watched as her children were devoured one by one. But when the time came for the last of her children to be eaten, she was unable to bear another such loss, and devised a trick to save the baby Zeus.
That's Zeus.
Rhea commanded the eagle to secret her son away. He was taken to an island far beyond the watchful eyes of Kronos.
Really wondering exactly how their relationship worked out. Rhea, I think, was also supposed to be a Titan, so I think she's just in a mortal form right now, but basically speaking, I'm just trying to figure out the logistics.
It was I who cared for him. It was I who kept him safe. I nurtured his desire to free his brothers and sisters from Kronos. But my foolish act of compassion would haunt the Titans forever. For in sparing Zeus, we allowed him to return to us with vengeance in his heart. He betrayed all of the Titans for the sins of just one. The sins of his father, Kronos.
You know, basically the backstory of Greek mythology with the war between the Titans and the Olympians really is some good stuff that makes me wish that basically HBO would make a series about Greek mythology, kind of in the same vein as Game of Thrones, but anyway. Zeus basically decided to punish Prometheus in a variety of ways. Ooh, Gorgon's Eye. And the thing about it is that basically at this point, Prometheus had created man. He created men, so I could usually make that in the past. He wanted to punish Prometheus by also punishing men as well, so he basically ordered Hephaestus to create a being so beautiful and basically just, let me see here. He wanted to create a being of stunning beauty, but also had a deceptive heart and a lying tongue. So I have a feeling that you guys know where this is going. So basically he ordered Hephaestus to create the first woman. And that's basically where Pandora comes from. The gods showered her with wealth and basically, like, a whole bunch of stuff, and Zeus specifically gave her a special gift, a jar that she wasn't allowed to open. Basically speaking, he then sent her down to Earth to basically torment mankind. And basically, she went to Prometheus' brother, Epimetheus, and Prometheus tried to warn Epimetheus to not trust any gifts from the gods, but Epimetheus was overcome with Pandora's beauty and allowed her to stay and whatnot. And it was then that Pandora succumbed to her fatal curiosity and opened the jar, thus releasing all the evils into the world. So it seems kind of like a reverse psychology thing, where it was fully intentional that Pandora would eventually open the jar and release all the evils onto mankind. It was pretty much Zeus's way of punishing Prometheus and mankind for having gotten the better of him. What a jerk. Anyways, I'm surprised that didn't make it into the games in some way, shape, or form. Anyways, but then Zeus ends up punishing Prometheus for real, basically for 3 reasons. One, pretty much for the whole tricking the sacrifice fiasco, and then for basically giving fire back to mankind. But there was also something else, something very specific that Zeus is punishing Prometheus for. Prometheus knew something. Apparently Prometheus knew the prophecy that one day Zeus would have a child that would one day overthrow him, and Zeus knew who the child's and Prometheus knew who the child's mother was going to be, and he knew who the child would end up being. So Zeus commanded Prometheus to tell him, but Prometheus wouldn't talk. So basically, because Prometheus was being insolent, he basically had his minions, what were their names? Pretty much, yeah, Force and Violence. Two of his servants, they basically overpowered Prometheus. They took him to a big mountain, they chained him up with adamantine chains, and they bound him to a rock where a giant bird is going to eat out his liver every single day, every single night, and then the next day he's healed. And so basically creating an endless torment. However, what this game doesn't tell you is that Prometheus actually has a way out of it. I mean, Zeus basically said that he'd free him from his torment if he told him who the child or the child's mother was going to be, but he also offered him a second way out, one that met 2 conditions. One, first, an immortal has to choose to die in his place. And secondly, a mortal has to kill the eagle, the bird that's eating him. As it turns out, Chiron the centaur actually does offer to die for Prometheus' behalf, and the mortal who ends up killing the bird is actually Hercules. So I'm actually kind of surprised to find out that Prometheus does get freed and is unbound, so I guess good for him. I don't know why I went off on that long tirade to explain all this. I don't know, I guess thought it would be interesting. I just like talking about a whole lot of things, and I mean, I'm not going to be pedantic about it. I'm not bringing up Greek mythology to point out how the game was bad. I'm just pointing it out in order to correct my own mistake, because I basically simplified it. There was a whole lot more of the story than even I knew, and it's interesting what you learn. I mean, if more people who liked Greek mythology was basically more like that, like, if you like the God of War games, you should take a look into Greek mythology, because that could change your perspective and give you a whole lot more to think about. I mean, it's basically like me. Basically, it was like, I love the Jurassic Park novels, but I'm not going to say that they're better than the Jurassic Park movie. I'm going to say that if you like the Jurassic Park movie, you should check out the Jurassic Park novel, because that might actually expand your mind, give you greater ideas, and better yet, it might give you a greater appreciation for certain movies that have come out recently. Ones that aren't the worst thing imaginable. They're not even the worst movie of 2018, because seriously, that came out the same year as Solo, the Star Wars movie. Star Wars story, whatever, but literally cannot take the throne of worst ever from that film. Gotta make it to the Steeds of Time. Leave no child behind. I've been thinking about making kind of like a response video to Endgame. Yeah, because I saw the Avengers Endgame movie. It's just, I don't know. I know that basically like, oh no, a siren whore. I'm told that these ones are called Siren Widows, but ultimately they're kind of like... no, actually, I take it back. There's no way they could be more annoying than the Sirens from Ascension, because those ones have the power of Zeus on their hands. I just wish that they'd stop moving. I should have more than enough orbs to power up something by now. Come here, darling. Break the neck! You have no idea how much I wish I could have done that to the Sirens in Ascension. Always gotta roll. Dang it. Killed both of them. This has been made out of something weak, like paper or Lanny. Time to open the door. I love chains so big that you can walk on them. A carefully hidden secret. What is this gear supposed to be doing? Like, seriously, it's like not spinning anything. But I do like the clockwork mechanisms out there. Could really use a feather. Birds of a feather, now and forever. Na 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 na.
The steeds of time. A gift from the great titan Kratos. His unsuccessful attempt to gain the favor of the Sisters of Fate.
Hold that thought, Gaia. Just want to save it. Oh crap, I forgot to start the timer.
And change the destiny which the Oracle foretold.
You know, I'm just curious. I mean, Kratos has to go through all this rigmarole to get with the steeds in order to get to the island, but, I mean, Kratos has climbed cliffs like that before. Are you telling me that Kratos couldn't just jump off into the waters below, swim to the island, and then climb up the rock wall? I'm pretty sure Kratos can. Right, let's see how long it takes me to finish this. Because, I mean, technically our first boss fight was, well, the first boss fight was the Colossus of Rhodes, but we just had another boss fight with that Cerberus, but I was too busy talking about Prometheus, so... I think we're about to come up on our first major boss fight, one in which that we don't have any of our powers. The Horsekeeper's Key. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. On Titan mode, this battle took me nearly 2 months. Yep. It was in... I think it was back in 2016. Or maybe it was 2015. Let's see, I moved in this apartment. Yeah, it was 2016. I was enjoying spring break and everything, or... Huh, I didn't know that was set to a time limit. Anyway, as I was saying, I decided to distract myself by playing God of War 2 on the PS2, and, well, I got stuck on this fight for 2 months. So, I really hope that that doesn't happen here, because really not in the mood to edit all that into one single video. And who do we have here?
The ghost of Sparta. Then what they say is true. Theseus. Oh,
Theseus.
the fools who try.
The guy who
You would
killed
be
the
last
Minotaur.
I would expect to seek an audience with the Sisters of Fate. And you are the last one I would expect to become a servant of the Fates. I serve and protect the Sisters of Fate for the glory of Zeus. The time of Zeus is coming to an end. You seek the Sisters to kill Zeus. You no longer possess the powers of a god, Kratos. I doubt you're capable of killing me, let alone the king of Olympus. Let me pass, and I will let you live, old man. I do not think that is your choice to make. Come forward. Let us finally see who is the greatest warrior in all of Greece.
Gotta be careful when you stand toe-to-toe with him. I just realized I didn't power up my weapons, but that's probably a good thing, because if I end up losing, I'll know what I need to experiment with. Either powering up the Bane of Typhon's Bane or the Blades of Athena. I'm just gonna call them the Blades of Chaos if you don't mind, because I mean, I think that the argument can be made that, like, especially with God of War 3, that the Blades of Athena are really just the Blades of Chaos, but with Athena's magic on them. This is where the battle gets kind of tedious, because he's going to stay up there for a while. Oh, so they're just storing magic then, huh? Okay, I think that's the halfway point. Come on, give me no bullshit. Oro! out of bullets. Yes! Get down here! Huh. Well, that was easy. I remember when I was a kid, I thought that God mode was this intimidating, impossible mode. And that is the Kratos way. Huh. Managed to get through one of the most tedious and difficult fights in the game in just one go. Awesome! Boss Batch 1, Silver. Kratos offers the steed of time to the sisters in a futile attempt to change his fate. I tell you, man, sucking up to a trio of evil women never gets you what you want. That's why I don't kiss a woman's ass for anything. You know, maybe I'll save the orbs for the next item that I'm gonna get, because it's definitely gonna be the more useful of most anything that I have. Plus I can't power up the blades anyway. No, 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 no! Go back! Go back! Go back! Go back! Go back! Whew. I'm leaving no orbs behind. A good soldier leaves a dirt bag behind! Almost had a heart attack. Open up. This ought to be good. Basically speaking, this item is probably, well, there are two items in the games like this, magic spells and whatnot, actually given to Kratos instead of taken. It's kind of reminiscent of the old game, and this is probably like one of the few that is reminiscent. What we're about to see, I don't necessarily think is actually real. I think it's just a recording, because it sort of conflicts with the character when we see him again later in the series. But let's get on with it. What the? Ooh, steam! This must be the sauna. Wait a second. What? Sword on! Rangers!
Our destiny has brought us together, warrior. Before
recruit a team of teenagers with attitude.
The gods, I hid away the last remnants of my magic.
Use this magic to morph into the Spartan Ranger.
Now bestow what is left upon you.
I must use my own energy to re-energize the green power coin. So this was just lying here the entire time. I wonder why Theseus never used it. Kratos' Rage is an absolute great way to rank up combos. Blue balls! Supersized. I wonder what that means. Nothing. I can't even taste the machina. Well. Yeah, that's pretty steep. Oh well. I'm sure it'll be worth it. Targets more enemies. I see something down there. Think I can't? Think I can't see you down there? Give me magic, 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 give me magic! Oh, I thought that I had 6 of those. Wait, I thought that I had 5 of them already. I don't know about you, but I personally can't wait to get to the next game where all of that changes. Go back to the Ascension version. Wait, Ascension had 5. I don't want to have to get 5, do I? I don't know what I want. This is actually a pretty badass moment I'll give to Kratos. It's really kind of cool looking. Oh wait, you have to do this. You gotta get the blinders off. Move, Harpy. And they're all multicolored as well. So I guess the Steeds of Time are the actual Power Rangers then. Let's do the blue one. I don't have time to deal with you. Hurry up! Get in there. Now I'll come back and do the red one. Well, what could be behind here? Nothing? How dare there be nothing? I demand that there be something. You said you wanted nothing on it. A meat patty is something. You ordered nothing. Get in there. Tyrannosaurus! wonder what that is, that island off in the distance. Alley-oop! I think there's something at the end of the horse's snout. Well, I've taken all the blinders off the horses. I don't think there's anything down there. But, what could be down here, I wonder? Yeah! Right on the snout of a giant horse. How does that not fall off? Has it been... Well, technically speaking, I know people have gotten farther than this, but I think that they ultimately, unlike Kratos, they skipped this portion. So nobody's ever solved this puzzle. Now this is the badass moment that I talked about. Because I think that this is kind of cool. What Kratos ends up doing. Move, beasts. Oh, come on. Giddy-Up! Move! Now watch this. These gigantic horse statues move forward, tugging these chains that go through the temple of Lachesis. Whip it good, right? And somehow, that ends up pulling the island of creation forward. Don't you just love Greek mythology? You can get away with stuff like this. I love the fact that you can see the tool marks. Of course, that's basically how they hit. That's basically just an excuse for the polygonal design. Okay, buddies, you can go back to sleep now. Right, gotta return to the Temple of Lachesis. Although I wonder if Kratos had went down the other side to the other chains, he might have been able to skip a whole lot of this. I really shouldn't be questioning if Kratos can skip over portions of this game, because, I mean, the game is fun. I think it's just because I've played it so many times I just can't help but notice that, you know, if only this had happened, he probably could have saved himself a whole lot of trouble. Because, I'm not gonna lie, this game has some confusing logic at times. There are legitimately things about it that do not make any sense. But I'm gonna enjoy it anyway, because that's just the kind of guy I am. Oh good. Fight. Fight, flogging, a festival. You made the Feast of Fools? Alright. Pour the wine and cut the cheese. As for the whole Theseus being able to summon Minotaurs thing, I have a feeling that since he's accredited with killing the original Minotaur, he basically sort of gained lordship over the Minotaurs. These Minotaurs, though, are clearly basically on the Fates payroll. can't remember though. I mean, basically speaking, like, these ones still have the ice design from Typhon's Cavern, so, but, I remember in, like, the original God of War game, they came in a variety of designs.
The Sisters of Fate has only just begun.
They had a variety of designs based on the environment that you found them in, but I'm hard-pressed to remember if the Minotaurs come in such variety in this game. Well, looks like I figured out how to let go of a friggin' wall. I'm running. I'm running. A connector. These are two chains linked together by a big link. It's good to be back. Sort of. Please tell me we're not at the 50-minute mark. I do not want to stop playing. Even though I basically set out to do what I wanted to do, I want to keep going. For some reason, the D-pad on this thing just will not cooperate. I'm just gonna check it out real quick, because I'm pretty sure that... Nope. Wrong place. They're digging in the wrong place. Bugs. I hate bugs. Hey, look for bugs. Hate bugs. Time for a shower. Isn't taking a shower great? It's like one of the best conveniences of, like, modern day living. Like, seriously, however long it is since you guys last took a shower, take another shower. It's just, showers are a good thing. If it weren't for the fact that basically I could rank up a serious water bill, I would take showers a whole lot more often. Like, thrice as often. But I don't need to worry about that for long, because next semester, once the summer is over, my apartment complex is dropping utilities, so... So basically, I won't be charged extra for them. I could really do with some feathers, you know. I cannot believe that my project for one of my classes this past semester had to do with feathers. That's the way in, but... Did I seriously knock them out of the air just by taking out their friend? Let's see what's down here first. What could be behind curtain number 1? Please be a feather, please be a feather, please be a feather, please be a feather. Yay! Look, sir. Pigeon feathers. White feathers. Very apt, wouldn't you say, Blackadder? Pigeon feathers? No, sir, that's gobbledygook. They're not white, they're sort of speckly. Speckly?! Ah! You shot my speckled gem! You're for it now, Blackadder. Quite frankly, sir, I've suspected this for quite some time. Clearly, Captain Blackadder has been flaunting his authorities. flaunting authority. I don't care if he's been rogering the Duke of York with a prize-winning leak! He shot my pigeon! I just love it. Greek mythology. Moving statues. Isn't it awesome? Hey, where you going? Huh. Don't know if I ever... No, I had to have noticed. Alrighty, so... that raises them. But I'm clearly not fast enough, and ooh, goody goody goody. Unbelievable, I just got a magic increase, and I'm already closer to... that much closer to having more health. That's what I call me biased, but I just don't like the balancing that these games have, because they intentionally give you more Gorgon's eyes than they do Phoenix feathers, because I'm positive I've literally come across every single one, and dang it, that corpse is in the way. You stopped it from coming down. Drain. The Turks! The drains! I've been watching Game of Thrones lately, and I gotta admit, this was actually pretty clever. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that is. But I'm gonna avoid spoilers. I mean, not talking about anything that happened in Season 8, it happened back, I think, in Season 7, so... What is this? Give it! I just love how Kratos knew that that would be important. The Amulet of the Fates. Last time I had an amulet that glowed green, it had something to do with time. You guys remember that from God of War Ascension? The ability to rewind the aging process of certain objects? That was pretty fun.
The relic
I love being able...
An amulet of the Sisters of Fate will allow you to move swiftly through time while all around you slows.
Thanks, Gaia. Oh yeah. This will come in handy during battles. Which is why I should not destroy the face of the statue when I get to one. Going up, sir.
Hear me, fallen god. None defy what the fates decree. That is how it must be. Only death awaits you at the end of your journey.
My death is what began this journey.
The fates have not deemed victory for you. Your soul will never find peace for what you have become.
I am what the gods have made me!
Man, people need to learn to stop pissing this man off. That was weird. You guys see what Kratos was doing there? He's kind of spazzing out. I'm gonna hate this part. Wraiths. Why did it have to be wraiths? What? I've got a cheese. I will break you.
You cannot change your destiny, mortal. We will never allow you to temple, Kratos.
You honestly don't have a say in it at all. Also, keep in mind that Lachesis is saying right now, we will never allow you to reach our sacred temple. Just keep that in mind. Ooh, they get out of magic. It's easy to forget what you have in these games.
Temple, Kratos. You cannot change your destiny, mortal.
The yo-yo trick, ladies and gentlemen.
You will die here, Kratos! We will never allow you to change your fate, Kratos. You cannot change your destiny, mortal. We will never allow you to reach our sacred temple, Kratos.
Shut up. Yeah. That's awesome, right? Well, we've completed part 1 of the Island of Creation. Now we get on to the real event. Technically, the Steeds of Time were just the preliminaries. Now we get on to the actual. Temple of Lachesis. That mural on the floor looks like mortals calling out to Zeus. Nope, mortals challenging Zeus. We gotta find a save point because we're way past the hour mark. And unfortunately, I gotta get some sleep. It's like 3 a.m. where I am right now. Oh. I have a feeling that I'm about to fight a Cyclops. Or 2. Or 3. I fought myself a Cyclops in Destiny's Atrium. Or maybe 2 or 3. Save point? Please? Maybe? Anybody? Mom? Boy, do I hate being right all the time. And this is another thing that's kind of a disappointment because, much like the Minotaurs, the Cyclops don't come in nearly the same variety as they used to. Hey, Pumbaa! If you're looking for a hunk of fat and juicy meat. Can't let Pumbaa get too close because I'm pretty sure Cyclops picked them up, bite their heads off, and throw them at me. Yep, like he's doing right now. See? See? I'm right again. Nobody could predict that Dr. Grant would suddenly jump out of a moving vehicle. Hey, get down here. Pig poppers. Up, pork bellies are falling. Our dearest friend, God. Loki on the throne, Asgard on the brink of war, yet you've managed to consume 4 wild boars, 6 pheasants, a side of beef, and 2 casks of ale. Shame on you, don't you care? I love that. I have no idea why people didn't like the original Thor movie. It was great. And I don't understand why people didn't like the original Captain America movie either. And what I really can't understand is how people liked Iron Man 2. Why did people not like... I still haven't even killed one Cyclops yet. Dang it. There we go. And here we go again. Oh, goody. I like how clearly inhuman the Cyclopses are in this game. They're like ogres, kind of like that. It's kind of disappointing in Greek mythology where they're just depicted as really big guys with one eye. 200 more. Dang it! Wait, what did... Hold on a second. Did I open up the wrong chest? Okay, here's the new plan. I'm leaving that chest alone. I'm going up here, and I'm gonna take this magic chest, because I know that I'm actually gonna come back to this atrium at some point. And I also know, basically, like, I'm gonna be dripping with blood when I get back here, just barely alive. Give me a save point. Where's a goddamn save point? Come on, I want to go to sleep. I need to go to the bathroom, too. Fine. I'll play this little game. I'll solve this puzzle, because I have to. Going up. Any day now. Do I seriously have to pull the lever again? What happened to these things being on a time limit? Did I mention how tough it is being me? It would just be perfect if it slid right into place. Right, so you see this? These shields are reflecting Lachesis' power back into her own eyes. Epic staring contest. Hey, does this mean that Kratos technically wins a staring contest with a statue? We cross the streams. All because you wouldn't give me a damn save point. Great. That's the Temple of Lachesis down. Now, I move on to the next part of the island. Bog of the Forgotten. But that's gonna have to wait till later, because right now, we are calling it a night. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you liked it. If you did like it, please leave a comment down in the comment section below. Be sure to like and share with your friends. You want to keep up to date with more God of War 2 coming your way in the future, then just smash that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later. Why won't this thing cooperate with me? Ouch!